Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Thedford as we get ready for D2 playoff action right here on Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook page. They're introducing the starters on the field. We'll do the same for you here. We'll start with the visiting Hyannis Longhorns. We'll run them down in order. Zeke Heaton is a senior, 160 pounds. Parker Provost is a sophomore, 125 pounds. Max Kosman playing the quarterback position this evening, a senior, 155 pounds. Ben Connell is a sophomore, 140 pounds. Jake Connell, a senior, 165. And Lane Anderson, a senior as well, at 190 pounds. Miles Anderson going to be seeing the field quite a bit tonight. Coach actually gave me 9 starters for this 8-man football game. He is a sophomore, 165 pounds. Stetson Madison is a senior, 155 pounds, and Wyatt Phillips is a senior, 190 pounds. Your starters for Sandhills Thedford look like this. The quarterback, Kyle Cox. In the running back positions, Connor Cooksley and Caden Hakey. At ends, Colin Winklebauer and Brady Dahlberg. The guards, Zeb Wild and Andrew Furrow. And the center, Rhett McFadden, getting the starts for Sandhills Thedford. We'll step away for a moment. When we come back, we'll get you set up for this one. As we get this evening's Broadway Medical Clinics. The first round of the D2, both of these teams coming out of the same district. Sandhills Thedford finished in that district at 5-0. Hyannis kind of middle of the pack, finishing at 1-4 with a overall record of 4-4. Hyannis is going to kick off to start this first half here this evening in Thedford, and we'll hop right into things. My name is Jeremy Scheib. Glad to have you here on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages, put on by KCNI KBBN Radio in Broken. Unless things have changed, it would be Lincoln, would be where one of these two teams would be headed, unless things have changed and no one informed me. We'll keep an eye on our connection. Had a good connection the last time we did a video stream here in Thedford. Things were dicey at times in the pregame when I glanced down, but I'm going to try to keep an eye on that to best serve you folks out to their positions. To kick it off, Hyannis working left to right. Sandhills Thedford right to left. I normally say as you visualize the field, but we are on video stream here tonight. That will pop up on me every now and then. I'm a radio man by trade, so I'll try to best serve you folks as best I can. Kickoff is away, and it's received inside the 10-yard line. Receiving it there for Sandhills Thedford comes Connor Cooksley. He's already broken free across the 30 to the 40, the 30, the 25-20, and he's knocked out of bounds over there. They're going to say it was about the 23.5-yard line where Cook hands it off to the first man through. That's Hakey. Gets a little bit of headway, but Hyannis essentially plugs everything up inside, and the man in the middle on the ground is Wyatt Phillips. I know he was on his back on the play, but when you give no one room to move their feet and find footing to run, he essentially tackled from his back, or at least led the charge to the tackle. 3 wide receivers near sides. Rally here. Gave up big field position on the kickoff. And now it's been 2 plays and only about 2.5 yards to show for it for Sandhills Thedford. I formation for the Knights again. Cox under center. Snaps it back, hands it off to Cooksley, makes 1 cut, makes a 2nd cut, breaks a tackle inside the 10, leans to the goal line, and now an extra point. This is going to go off of the foot of Aiden Hall. Looking for the 7th point, puts his foot into it. Will it get there? It does. Just go over the crossbar to make it 7-0 Sandhills Thedford. So the first drive is a successful one for the Knights. And in this D2 opening round playoff game, they are quickly up 7-0. Kick is away for Sandhills Thedford, goes into the end zone. The 15-yard line is where Hyannis will set up shop here in Thedford for their first offensive possession. Things didn't work out. Max hands it off and stacked up immediately just off the right side near the right side hash mark comes Zeke Heaton. Gets about a half a yard on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. Tries to recover, he does, gets it off to Zeke, but he loses that 1 yard that he got on 1st down. So he goes backwards, and the 3rd down stick now stands right at the initial line of scrimmage, just about. They gave him, well, the back of the ball is on the 15 rather than the front of it. We'll put it that way. It's going to be intercepted by Hakey. Hakey trying to get to the end zone and pay dirt, but he stepped out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So an interception for Sandhills Thedford. Caden Hakey had a better eye on that ball than the receiver did for Hyannis. He went up high, pointed it, and ran the sideline as long as he could. Had less room than he thought he did. He kind of stepped on the sideline there trying to angle towards pay dirt, but it's beautiful field position again for the Sandhills Thedford offense. From the 5, Kyle Cox drops back, now wants to run, finds the end zone. Touchdown, Kyle Cox, and it's 2 quick scores on 2 short field possessions for Sandhills Thedford. Now for the extra point. We're going to have a different kicker out there this time for Sandhills Thedford. This is going to be Brady Dahlberg to put his toe into it. Normally the kickoff man for the Knights. High snap, and this goes straight into the back of the snapper for Sandhills Thedford. The extra point attempt this time is no good. It's 13-0 Sandhills Thedford. Going to go over the head of Parker. The 15-yard line is where Hyannis will set up again. I'm looking down and seeing that we're losing connection at time, folks, but we seem to be regaining our connection after each disconnection. It says that I haven't dropped any frames, which in our lingo is a good thing. I apologize if you're experiencing some problems on your end. We might do an internet change at halftime and see how we fare there. Snap the ground a fair amount so far tonight. Can report to you that South Loop is taking care of the defending D2 state champions handily. That was happening on one of our two radio stations, KBBN Radio, tonight. Last report, I think it was 30-6. South Loop. Snap back to Kosman. 8:18 shows on the clock. 13-0. Sandhills Thedford. Snap back to Kosman. Blitz is picked up. Now Kosman can't recover, and he's going to be sacked. Brady Dahlberg comes in and gets the TFL all the way back at the 10-yard line, and that is negative yardage for the Hyannis offense. The last thing they want to see is their offense going backwards, especially on third down. They're going to have to kick it farther to avoid giving Sandhills Thedford their third straight possession in their own territory. Again, a shout out to the sponsors. Your Knights first down at their opponent's 28-yard line. Kyle Cox, Cooksley to his left, hands it off to him out of the shot. Great pitch there from Kyle Cox. Cooksley got up the field quick. Now I'm looking down and seeing that third down coming up. It's going to be a long 4 yards facing Sandhills Thedford here. Sandhills Thedford has had starting field positions of their opponent's 24-yard line, their opponent's 5-yard line, and their opponent's 28-yard line. That's what you call winning the field position battle. Out of the eye, Cox hands it off. Hakey, big hole off the right side. He's inside the 5, has the first. And the folks across the way seeing lots of white and blue here on the near side where the press box is as well. I formation here for Kyle Cox. Tries to QB sneak it, gets a push from his fullback Hakey, and he's into the end zone. From 3 yards out, Kyle Cox has his second rushing touchdown of the evening. So now we'll see if Sandhills Thedford elects to kick it for the third time if they go for 2. They're going to kick it with Aiden Hall. Hall was successful on the first extra point of the game. Dahlberg, and Parker Provis back again for Hyannis. Dahlberg to put his toe into it for Sandhills Thedford. Dahlberg kicks it away, and this is going to be a slow roller that bounces at the 5-yard line and goes through the end zone. So the 15-yard line again is where they're going to set up. So if you're Hyannis, you've got 5:11 on the clock. It's first quarter. You're down 21-0, but it's a lead that has been surmountable at all levels of football. Only the first quarter, so you've got to get Wyatt's going to have about a yard gain. So far, they're up 21. Again, if you're just joining us, we will change our internet connection at the end of the first quarter, which I know will be to start this drive. The first play from the 5-yard line. Cooksley just goes right around the outside, and he's only begun to be tackled between him as well as Aiden Hall. Dahlberg puts his toe into this one, and it's plenty good. That one probably would have been good from 30. It puts another point on the board, and Sandhills Thedford is now up 28-0. Viera Wireless, we're going to change to that connection. So Sandhills Thedford will dig in defensively. It's been their defense and their special teams which has made things significantly easier for their offense. Scoring from 19 yards out, 5 yards, 3 yards, and then 5 yards again much of those situations were set up or in just one play. The thing they have to determine is if he was in the end zone when he started the passing motion or if he was at the 1. So the official is explaining it to Sandhills Thedford. They're deciding what they want to do with the penalty. And it is intentional grounding. Kosman going to go under center. It's going to have to be a quick move up the field for Hyannis. Kosman hands it off. Hit once and then brought down in the end zone is Zeke. Zeke Heaton was the runner on the play. He got hit once. I thought he was going to get away from it completely, but when he tried to recover, Dahlberg came over there and gave him a big bear hug, and it is a safety and 2 more YouTube and Facebook pages. Jeremy Shipe of KCNI KBBN Radio with you. Jeff Bailey is behind the camera this evening. We're going to make an internet change at the end of the first quarter. Just to let you folks know, we believe that connection is more reliable. At least when I tested it just now, it looks like it is going to be more reliable. It looks like we're losing connection every now and then. Despite being shown an internet speed test that showed us really, really high speeds before we started the game, we're not inside their opponent's 30-yard line for Sandhills Thedford. 30-0 Knights. Dahlberg split out far to the upside of your screen. To the near side, 2 wide receivers for Kyle Cox, who stands in the shotgun. Snap back to Kyle. Looks to pass. No pressure at all. Has a man wide open. The extra point attempt from Aiden goes down and goes up and through to make it 37-0 Sandhills Thedford here in the first. We'll step away for a second and come back for the final 2 minutes and 52 seconds of the first quarter. Again, after the end of the first quarter, we're going to disconnect our internet that we have running our stream right now, and we will reconnect with a different internet connection for you folks in case there are some problems happening on the viewing end of this stream. Kosman, snap back to him in the pistol set. Zeke is wrapped up at the 20-yard line. This is going to be a loss. Zeke Heaton with the carry. Nose of the football sits just across the 20-yard line. Hyannis going backwards on that play. They'll look for some positive yardage here as we come out for second down. Turned out to be a beautiful night here in Thedford. This is the epitome of football weather. The American flag in the end zone to your left as you're viewing the screen sits completely